Hey, so for us here at gameranx, we love Red Dead Redemption 2. But like with every game we love, even the biggest fans have their complaints and grievances. So, as usual, we took to the internet and scoured forums and social media to see what drives Red Dead Redemption 2 fans crazy. Also, keep in mind, there are some minor spoilers here, but let's get started off with number 10 and talk about picking shit up. You know, when you're in a little cabin and you're trying to go through cabinets or tables and just pick stuff up like a can of beans, only Arthur shuffles around like a clunky idiot because of the controls and doesn't even end up picking up the thing you want, or you gotta readjust him over and over again, and then he ends up picking up a gun you don't really want, or picking up a dead body for no reason. Arthur, what are you doing, man? This is pretty much how these types of games control. It's not even just Rockstar games, but games in third person with clunkier controls just do this, but it never makes it not funny and stupid and honestly kind of annoying. But moving on to something that a lot of us here feel really strongly about. At number 9, something we really hate is Micah. Because seriously, just fuck that guy. He's a liar, he's a cheater, he's a rat, he's an ass kisser, and honestly, you know he's bad news right from the start. Like right from the beginning of the game. You're like, that guy's bad news, something's gonna go down. I mean, think about it. You're in a group of outlaws and scoundrels. You gotta really suck to stand out that much from the crowd. Plus, just to add like the smallest fuel to the fire, yeah, he has one of the coolest jackets in the game, and you can't have it. But moving on to number 8, Red Dead 2 gives you a slew of cool hat options, from classic cowboy hats to newsboy caps to sombrero-y type things, but no matter how cool your hat is, some asshole will inevitably either shoot your hat off like a jabroni, or some cowpoke will tackle you and send your hat tumbling off onto the ground. And sure, you can easily replace your hat by hopping on your big old horse and clicking a few menus over, but your horse isn't always there, and I don't know about you, but I feel like Arthur Morgan looks naked without the hat. It just doesn't look right, and the fact that it comes off so much is annoying. Finding your hat after being separated from it can be a real pain sometimes, especially when you just murdered a ton of dudes and the ground is like just littered with random hats and you need to hunt for your specific hat. Thankfully, it does flash at least, like you can tell it's yours, but still, God forbid, your hat is sitting around like 3 other hats in a pile, and picking up the right one coming back to number 10 is really annoying. And it's even worse when you're in a snowy area and you need to find out where you dropped it in the snow. It's just a bad scene all around. Like we said, thankfully you can get a new hat on your horse, but still, stop shooting our hats off. Again, this is small, this is nitpicking, this is a video filled with petty complaints. Because speaking of petty complaints, at number 7, why are there no ponchos in the game? What the hell? That was like the best part of the original Red Dead Redemption. I know there's no Mexico sequence really like the previous game, but myself and a lot of others feel like the poncho is just a big thing in cowboy movie fashion. I don't know, I just wanted to make Arthur look like Clint Eastwood. Is that too much to ask? I don't really think it is, but I'm curious to see in the comments if there's any clothing items that you guys are pissed at. It just didn't make it in the game. But at number 6, forced walking sequences in games is a big pet peeve for a lot of people, and it's wild that Red Dead Redemption 2 straight up makes one big old slow walking zone around your camp. Now, I know that there are people out there that like that. I mean, I personally think it's cool, and it encourages you to kind of take your time with your camp and get to know everything, but for other players it made them get in and out as quickly as possible and miss out on a lot of character interactions because it was just too annoying to walk around in a camp a lot and you couldn't be bothered. It's especially bad in one of the later camps in the game because the walking zone encompasses some parts that are just regular roads around it, and it really sucks. I don't know, it's a relatively minor thing in the grand scheme of things, but man, does it get under some people's skin. Now at number 5, of course, lots of players hate bugs and glitches in the game. It's obvious. As good as the game is, there are often too many issues to count. Your horse, or you getting stuck in the middle of an animation loop or in an object, maybe clothing, graphical issues like clipping through your coat, making you look weird, a quest where a gang member's horse doesn't move and you gotta restart the whole mission because he's not moving, or maybe just like a good old-fashioned hard crash, which thankfully we haven't seen too much of. I mean, look, every game has glitches and bugs, to be fair, and on the flip side, some people will barely experience any issues, but we gotta point out how much it pisses some people off while playing, whether it's online or offline. At number 4, now we couldn't make a light casual list of things that bother people in Red Dead Redemption without getting a little serious and acknowledging Red Dead Redemption Online's economy. At the time of making this video, Red Dead Online is still in beta and the in-game economy is far too grindy. People have been playing for hours and haven't been able to get enough in-game money to buy practically anything. Are microtransactions going to be the name of the game here? We hope not. Rockstar has said that this is a beta and that they will be adjusting the money and currency numbers, so we're gonna hope this changes, but it sours what is otherwise a really fun mode. It just sucks playing for hours and being stuck with the cattleman revolver, like what the hell? And at number 3, since we are on the topic of online, we really hate that there's no way to select PvP modes in online. That might come later, but just providing constructive criticism right now, because the modes are honestly so damn good, and sometimes you don't want to be in the open world, you just want to shoot dudes in a mode, and the fact that you have to pick between 3 types of PvP playlists that are set means you don't have total control to just play a mode you want, say like Make It Count, the really cool spin on Battle Royale. We're gonna hope that changes, because as of right now, we don't want to get stuck playing certain modes, because some of them aren't as exciting as some really good ones, so come on, let's change that. Coming down to number 2, let's talk about horse stuff. Sometimes we hate horse stuff. Look, no video game horse is perfect. Not the Skyrim horse, not Roach from The Witcher 3, and definitely not Red Dead Redemption 2 horses by any means. They are incredibly detailed and varied with their own realistic behaviors, many with different temperaments and personalities, but whatever the horse's disposition, it still sometimes tends to occasionally not go where you want to go. I get that that's realistic, you can't control an animal, but still, despite mashing buttons, the thing isn't going where you want. That's kind of annoying. Especially because then, of course, the horse will hit a rock and crumple like a sensitive bag of leaves and send you flying like it's like a motorcycle crash from Grand Theft Auto 5. And that sucks, especially when you're in the middle of a chase, a shootout, or something productive, and the horse just isn't helping. The horse is supposed to be like man's best friend or something, right? Right? I don't know how that works. But now finally, at number 1, picture this. You're riding along, you have your go-to weapons equipped, and then you hop off your horse and get into a firefight. Maybe it's just out exploring, or you're dragged into a cutscene, whatever. Doesn't really matter, because there's a good chance that the weapons you have equipped are completely different, and you're sitting there like a dumbass trying to fight off ambushers with a varmint rifle and a cattleman's revolver, because for some reason the game decided to give you that. It's happened to us a billion times. We're sure it's happened to you as well. You can somewhat alter loadout preferences, but nothing's really definitive, and it sucks when you end up in a mission and Arthur magically has a rifle on his back that isn't necessarily a rifle you would want to use. Plus, when you have to go to your horse and scroll through the weapon wheel through 1,000 weapons just to get the same 2 weapons, your go-to weapons that you've been using the entire game, is kind of annoying. This stuff is just a buzzkill, and this whole video it's just things we don't like about the game that we otherwise really freaking love. So we want to hear from you guys down in the comments. What annoys you the most about Red Dead Redemption 2? Is it a specific character? Is it a specific type of mission or scenario? Let's talk. If you enjoyed this video though, clicking the like button helps us out. We do appreciate it. And if you're new, you should consider subscribing, because we put out stuff like this all the time. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.